Good morning, everyone. Welcome to week 5 of Honors Meditation. So this morning, we're not going to do any of the pre-pranayama practices today. We're just going to get right into it. I know this might be difficult for some of you because if you haven't been moving, your hips might be tight, but I encourage you to make whatever adjustments you need to make to your posture so you can be comfortable. Today we're going to go over full yogic breath, and we've been practicing abdominal breathing. We've been practicing thoracic breathing in a 1-to-1 ratio, equally in and out, separating the breath out so that we can move into this full yogic breath. Okay, so we're going to practice those pieces parts today. It's not something you have to do for your practice this week. You're still going to continue to work on abdominal and thoracic breathing, but it will give you an idea of what's coming up. And that technique, full yogic breath, is something that you would practice for a finite amount of time, unlike abdominal breathing. Like you could do that all day long and that would be awesome. Full yogic breath is more about utilizing the lungs to their fullest capacity for a finite amount of time. It's not something you would try to do all day. It takes too much brain power, and it's not something that you need to work toward. So we're going to start this morning with a short settling, but not yet. I'm just going to show you what full yogic breath looks like. Then we're going to go through the different parts of the breath. I'm going to have you do that. Then we're going to sit up, come into a sthairyam practice. Then I'm going to lay you back down, and you're going to do yoga nidra with sankalpa. Okay, so it's going to be a very packed class today. So if you could just watch me, and hopefully you can see my stomach. That's what I want you to look at. I want you to look at how I'm separating out the breath, okay? So we started with abdominal breathing to get you breathing into the lowest lobes of the lungs. Then we worked on thoracic. And from what I can tell from your practice plans and your journals, you're saying, oh, most of you say, I don't like this breathing here. Well, yeah, of course, this is not efficient breathing, but it's how a lot of people breathe because of stress. It's how you breathe when you're running a 6-minute mile, or even if you're running an 8-minute mile, okay? But for the purposes of this practice, you want to be able to separate it out, and you're going to separate in a way, and then you're going to put it back together. So this is what it looks like. Let's see if I don't know if you can really see my stomach. I should bring this. I don't know if you can see. Okay. So I'll start and then I'll explain. Just watch. So I'm breathing into my belly. So inhaling into the abdomen or to the lowest lobes of the lungs, filling that to capacity. Then I'm here. And then I take as much breath as I can all the way up to the clavicular region. And then I'm going to release from here and then here. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And today we're going to work on the abdominal breathing, thoracic breathing. I'm going to ask you to breathe here, and then I'm going to actually ask you to flare your nostrils. So we're going to work on those 4 parts just separately. And then if you practice this week, your abdominal and thoracic, and with the awareness of the nostrils, you will be able to probably start the yogic breathing without too much trouble next week. So please come into Shavasana. Make yourself comfortable. And just settling in. I know this might be a little hard today because we're not doing any movement. That's, again, why I say for you to do the pre-pranayama practices, to do something to get the energy out, to calm yourself, to quiet your mind prior to saying you're going to sit down and do a pranayama practice or meditation, because it's very difficult. We have lots of thoughts in our heads, lots of things that we think we could be doing, should be doing. And sometimes if we can just get some energy out, things quiet down and we can actually do the required meditation or pranayama practice with ease. So just starting as I ask you always to do. So at the beginning of on the top of your practice plan, it'll often say, pre-pranayama practice preparation. But after that, you're just, even before you do that, if you're doing it in the context of the practice, just laying down in Shavasana is that check-in. You're always doing the check-in. Noticing where you are physically, mentally, emotionally at the beginning so that you can see if these things are doing anything for you. Some of you are mentioning, yes, you're feeling more calm. Some of you are like, well, I don't know if I feel anything yet. That's okay if you don't. But over time, there should be some measurable something. Otherwise, you're probably not going to be very motivated to continue. So just noticing your overall energy this morning. And knowing that the practice of pranayama helps to manipulate the energy. Pranayama, prana, energy. Pranayama, the control or expansion of that energy. Manipulation of the energy with the breath. So just noticing overall how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally this morning. And then bring the awareness to the natural breath. Bringing your full attention to your natural breath. And I'm hoping that this semester you're really recognizing the difference between how you breathe naturally and then when we manipulate it with these practices. And now place your right hand on your abdomen and place your left hand on your sternum, on your chest. And with effort, just begin natural abdominal breathing. So inhaling, feeling the right hand rise, thinking about those lower lobes of the lungs. You're taking the breath and you're moving it right down into the lowest lobes of the lungs, flattening out the diaphragm, bringing your belly out. Pausing, feeling that extension at the navel, and then releasing. If you'd like to practice rhythmic abdominal breathing for a moment or two, that's fine too. Otherwise, just breathing, focusing, nose to navel. The left hand should remain still. No movement there. And now as you're practicing the abdominal breathing, notice your nostrils. Notice how much they're flaring. And as you continue, especially if you're doing rhythmic breathing, notice if you're able to breathe more deeply and you can maybe increase your count by 1 when you activate the nostrils. We don't think about that, but there's a surface area that increases when we dilate our nostrils. We're able to bring in more air. So look what happens if you focus on inhaling, bringing the awareness to the nostrils, then carrying the breath down into the lowest lobes of the lungs. And on your next exhalation, discontinue abdominal breathing, keeping your hands in place. And now move to thoracic. So focus now on the left hand. The right hand remains still now. So now you're focusing on the expansion and contraction of the rib cage. Your mind wanders, bring it back. Stay here, stay with this practice. I'm not going to be doing it too much longer. If you'd like to come into a 1-to-1 ratio in thoracic breathing, you can do so. And if you want to try to see what happens if you flare your nostrils. Still focusing on the middle lobes of the lungs. And now on your next exhalation, discontinue thoracic breathing. There's one more layer here, the top of the lungs. It's called clavicular breathing. So this is the kind of breathing that you would see people who have asthma, people that have respiratory issues. When you see they have those pumps on their back, they can't get the breath low. So they are breathing only right along the clavicle. So keeping your hands in place, trying not to move your right hand, not to move your left hand. See what happens if you direct the breath from the nose to the uppermost part of the lungs, right below the neck. How much breath can you get in? Probably not too much, but just practice it. It's probably very uncomfortable. Your shoulders will probably rise a little bit. The breath is very shallow, very inefficient, and probably makes you feel a little uncomfortable. But again, apply that flaring of the nostrils, see what happens. On the next exhalation, discontinue clavicular breathing. Bring your hands back down into Shavasana. And just noticing how that felt, doing those 3 different kinds of breath, 3 areas of your lungs. And yogic breathing, full yogic breath, combines those 3 techniques. So that's what we're going to start working on next week. It is used to maximize inhalation and exhalation. Its purpose is to gain control of the breath and correct poor breathing habits and increase oxygen intake. It may be practiced at any time and is especially useful in situations of high stress and anger for calming nerves. However, while its inclusion in a daily yoga program will correct and deepen natural breathing patterns, yogic breathing itself should not be performed continually. Okay, so this is something that you would maybe put in place when you're feeling really stressed out. Maybe before a test, you spend 5 minutes working on full yogic breath. Okay. So bring the awareness from your breath and my words or wherever it is back into your body. Moving your hands, moving your feet, feeling the floor beneath you, and coming up to a seated position. Okay. So we're going to move into sthairyam, the body steadiness practice. Now I looked at the clock, and because we are really well on schedule at this point, I have listed in your practice plan to do stages 1, 2, and 12, but I'm going to go through 1 through 3 and 12. So the first and the last is settling and externalizations, the same thing for Yoga Nidra. The second stage of sthairyam body steadiness is body symmetry, where you're feeling your body from the right to the left. You're really putting a lot of attention on the body. The third stage is a mirror visualization, where you're trying to see your body from the outside. So remember, with this sthairyam practice, the idea behind body steadiness, this is a formalized practice that basically is just trying to get you to be able to sit still. So every kind of meditation, I mentioned this last week, from every different tradition begins with sitting still. This just happens to be a formalized way to slowly take your awareness from the gross to the subtle. Your gross being your body, the subtle being your breath, to the point where your whole body is still so that your mind can be still, okay? So come into a comfortable position. Remember, cushions, blocks, benches, wall, chair. Please be comfortable because we're going to be here for about 13 or 14 minutes. And then you're going to come right into Shavasana and we're going to go into Yoga Nidra. You guys are going to be glowing by the end of the day. You will be so calm, meditative that you're going to just conquer the entire day with all this. So be comfortable. Seriously, if you're sitting freely and you know your hips are hurting already, you're kidding yourself. So organize yourself, get against the wall, put something underneath your knees. And those of you that are ready, starting to be in place, close your eyes unless you know they need to be open. And if they're open, they should be down turned on a spot in front of you or at your nose tip. So when we practice sthairyam and all meditations, number one, be comfortable. Number two, make a gentle effort to remain still, which means that you're starting to have that willpower, but it's not something where you're fighting. You watch, you decide if you're going to move or not, move, come back, okay? So your eyes are lightly closed. You're settling into your posture. You're allowing large movements to give way to smaller movements as your body settles in. Making sure that you've chosen a position where your spine is straight, your head is to the center. And check to see that if it's appropriate, your eyes are just lightly closed, that you're not really squishing them closed. Same thing with the mouth, just lightly closed, not holding tension in your face, in your chin. Relax your jaw. And as you're settling in, bringing your full attention to your posture, your hands can be placed on your knee. If you know a mudra, you can choose one of those. We'll be talking about that soon. And become aware of the base of your body against the floor. Be aware of the position of your feet, ankles, knees, hips, pelvis. And it's okay right now if you're still settling in. We're still in the settling. If you need to shift, shift. Notice how the spinal column is rising up from the stable base. And feel the strength in your trunk. Relax down through the shoulders and the arms. But keep the chest lifted and open. Bring the awareness to the hands, resting lightly on the knees or in your lap. Make that connection between your mind and your hands, being aware of each and every finger. Shift the awareness to your neck and head, making sure that your head is facing forward, not tilted, but that the head remains in alignment with the spine. Maintain full awareness of this meditative asana, this posture you've chosen, from the tips of your toes and fingers to the crown of your head. And as you mentally observe the body, make a gentle effort to maintain stillness throughout. As the body stills, you may notice that the breath is creating the largest movement. Notice how the breath is moving the body. And take 3 deep breaths in and out. using each breath to further bring the body and the mind into stillness. After those 3 deep breaths, release control of your breath. And make a gentle resolution for stillness for the remainder of the practice. If movement is necessary, move slowly, coming back into your posture when you're able. Bring the attention back to your body, specifically to the base of your body against the floor or the support beneath you. And notice how the body is balanced. Feel from the right side to the left and the left to the right. Be aware how the body is balanced. Noticing how the weight is balanced evenly from one side to the other. Notice the legs. Noticing their symmetrical and equal placement right out in front of the body. Both legs equally out in front of the body. Feel the tailbone. Draw the awareness to the tailbone and then take it upward along the length of the spine to the base of the neck and then out to each shoulder. Focusing the awareness on the T position created by the spine and the shoulder blades. From there, take the awareness from each shoulder down to each hand. Be aware from each shoulder to each hand. And feel the arms resting evenly on the thighs, on the knees. The arms are equally distant from the midline of the body, balanced and even. Now bring the awareness to the head. Visualizing its placement at the center of the body, right on top of the spine. The head should be in a neutral position so that the chin is parallel to the floor, facing forward. Feel the body now as a triangle. The head is the apex, the base of the body, the base of the triangle. Any object that conveys balance and stability can be chosen. Perhaps a mountain or a pyramid. Stay with this visualization for a moment and feel the strength, stability, balance, and symmetry throughout the whole body. The whole body in harmony. Imagine now that you are seated in front of a full-length mirror. And view the body, your body from the front. See a rough outline of your seated position. And then fill in the details. Color of the clothing you're wearing, arrangement of your hair, and the expression on your face. View your body from the front. Take the awareness in the mirror to the back of the body now. Go to the back of the body. And start again with a gross outline of your body, the back of the body, and fill in the details. See your body from behind. Take the mirror now and your awareness to the right side and visualize the right profile. See your body from the right. Take the mirror and the awareness to the left side. Bring the awareness to the left side and see the left profile of your body. See your body from the left. Bring the mirror above the body now. And see your body from above, as if looking down. See your body from above. Now see the body from all sides simultaneously, as if you are seated in the middle of a hall of mirrors. See your body from all sides at the same time. – 360-degree awareness. See the body, your body, from all sides at the same time. Now let go of that visualization, the mirror visualization, and gradually become aware once again of the whole body and the floor beneath you. If your mind has wandered, bring it back into your body. Bring your awareness back to your body. Become aware again of the sounds around you, the room around you. But feel the base of your body against the floor, or the support beneath you if you're sitting in a chair, feeling all of the contact points between your body and the support beneath you. Draw the awareness once again to the natural breath. And begin to deepen your breath, using the breath to further externalize your awareness now. So reversing the effects of the deep breath. Take those deep breaths in and out. Feel your body move. Feel some regular level of energy returning. Ending the practice of Kaya sthairyam, body steadiness with movement. So slowly now begin to release your posture, sitting cross-legged. Bring one knee in, Stretch it out. Bring the other in. Stretch it out. And before we move into Yoga Nidra, because some of you might feel really sleepy right now. You guys did a great job from what I can tell. You guys are really trying to sit still. I hope you're not doing it with the intention of like that. I hope it's a little bit more relaxed, but from what I can tell, you're really trying to sit still. But maybe take your fingers now and tap your head, because I don't want you to fall asleep in Yoga Nidra. So we're going right into Yoga Nidra. So if you tap your head, and this could come in handy, by the way, like when you're falling asleep in class, just start tapping, 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 and then make your way supine for Yoga Nidra. So for today's practice, we are incorporating the Sankalpa, which I know most of you have been working on. I have said in your last journal that if you need any help crafting one, I'd be more than happy to help you. As you are settling in, I'm just going to read a couple Sankalpas out of the Yoga Nidra book. And again, the wording can be future tense, it could be present tense, it just needs to be positive. So a couple suggestions if you haven't come up with one yet, and again, you may want to make these into your own words, are: I will awaken my spiritual potential. I will be a positive force for the evolution of others. I will be successful in all that I undertake. That might be a good one for a lot of you. I will be aware and efficient. Another good one. I will achieve total health. So you can always craft these to I will, or I am achieving, I am becoming successful, I am successful, I am happy. You can change it into those words. So settling into Shavasana, making sure that you are comfortable. You have something underneath your knees. You have a blanket covering you, because we will be here till the end of class, okay, which is about 17 minutes. So checking the symmetry or asymmetry of your body and make the adjustments accordingly. Your heels should be hip width apart, arms comfortably away so the palms easily face upward or slightly inward. You draw the shoulder blades together and down. That's going to create a little space in the low back, which may feel good. Support your low back. Your head is to the center. Just knowing that moving into this practice now, you are taking care of yourself. You have chosen to show up today for you. And hopefully this practice will help you get through the day, and all that, of course, that came before, but this practice specifically, giving you the energy that you need. And at the end of the day, you will reflect upon the fact that you took this time today and you took care of yourself. You took care of your energetic and mental health. So make any final adjustments and say to yourself mentally, I am now going to practice Yoga Nidra. I will remain awake. I will remain aware. Feel the whole body lying on the floor. Be aware of the whole physical space of your body and the floor beneath you. Make a mental connection to the position of your heels, legs, hips, torso, shoulders, arms and hands, and your head. Be aware of the whole body lying on the floor. Take 3 deep breaths in and out, and allow each exhalation to release any physical or mental tension, allowing both the body and the mind to relax more fully, preparing for the practice of Yoga Nidra. Be aware of the meeting points between your body and the floor. Feel the grounding effect between your body and the earth beneath you. Scan your body front and back. And notice anything touching the skin. Feel the variety of sensations against the skin. Mat, air, floor, clothing. And then draw the awareness outward to the room around you, being aware of the room that you're lying in, the contents of it, but most importantly, your position within it. Now activate the sense of hearing and begin to listen for the variety of sounds that are inside and outside the room. Moving the awareness from one sound to the next quickly. Listen for the furthest sound away, then come closer to sounds in the immediate area, and then closer, listening for sounds that may be coming from you, whatever they may be. And finally, focusing specifically on the soft sound of the natural breath. Full awareness of each breath as it moves in and out. Know that you know you're breathing. Now is the time to mentally repeat your sankalpa, your resolve. If you have one, repeat it 3 times mentally with full faith and commitment. If you do not yet have one, see what might arise during this period. Beginning with body rotation, bring the awareness to the right side of the body, specifically to the right hand. Right hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger. Palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side of the ribs, right side of the waist, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, instep, sole of the foot, top of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third, fourth, fifth. Check the awareness, stay with the instructions, move to the left side. Become aware of the left hand. Left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger. Palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side of the ribs, left side of the waist, hip, thigh, knee, lower leg, ankle, heel, instep, sole of the foot, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third, fourth, fifth. Check the awareness, go to the top of the head. Top of the head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, eyebrow center, right eye, left eye, right ear, left ear, right cheek, left cheek, bridge of the nose, tip of the nose, upper lip, lower lip, where the lips come together, right side of the jaw, left side of the jaw, chin, front of the neck, right collarbone,
left collarbone, the hollow between. Right side of the chest, left side of the chest, center of the chest. Upper abdomen, navel, lower abdomen, pelvis. Check the awareness, stay with the practice, move to the back of the body. Right buttock, left buttock, lower back, middle back, upper back, spine. Right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, back of the neck, back of the head, top of the head. Become aware of the whole right leg, the whole left leg, the whole right arm, the whole left arm. Become aware of the torso, neck, head. Become aware of both legs together, right and left. The two arms together. Torso, neck, head. Become aware of the whole body together, the whole body together, the whole body together. Leaving body rotation, shift the attention to the breath, specifically to the flow of the breath in the nostrils. Begin to focus on the breath in the nostrils. Being aware of the sensation of the breath, cool on the in-breath, warm air on the out-breath. Or perhaps following the path of the breath and focusing on how the breath flows into each individual nostril on the inhalation, and the breath comes together at the eyebrow center. And on the exhalation, the breath flows from the eyebrow center out each individual nostril. Focusing on the path of the breath and how it flows in the shape of an inverted V. Keeping the awareness on the sensation of the breath or the path of the breath, begin to count the breath backward from the number 27 down to the number 1. Beginning by breathing in 27 into the nostrils, breathing out 27 from the nostrils, breathing in 26, breathing out 26, and continuing on down to the number 1. Full attention, counting the breath backward, 27 to 1. Attention on the breath in the nostrils. If the count is lost or in question, begin again at 27. Stay awake. Stay connected to the count and the breath. Stay with the practice just a little while longer, focusing on the breath in the nostrils, counting the breath from 27 down to 1. Now release the count, let go of the count. Relax all efforts of counting the breath. It's time once again to remember your sankalpa. If you have one, repeat it now 3 times mentally with full faith that it will come true when the time is right. Bring the awareness to the sounds around you. Once again, listening for the variety of sounds that are inside and outside of your room. Moving the attention from one sound to the next quickly. Make a mental picture of the room, visualizing the 4 walls, the door, the windows, the ceiling, color of the walls, all of the furniture, but most importantly, your position in relation to all of that. Imagine you can see the room from above, looking down, and find yourself lying on the floor, seeing your body in Shavasana, clothing that you've chosen, fully connecting to your position in relation to the room. Feel all of the meeting points between clothing and skin. Feeling the texture, the weight against the skin. Feel air against all of the exposed areas, the cool air against exposed areas of skin. And then bring the awareness to the back of your body, feeling the full weight of your body and all of your body's contact points. Feeling the heels firmly against the floor, the back of the legs and buttocks against the floor. Feeling the whole of the back, both arms, hands, and your heavy head. Feel the grounding effect between your body and the floor beneath you. And finally, drawing the awareness back to the breath, making a connection to the natural breath, and begin to deepen the breath. Beginning to breathe fully and deeply and feeling the body's response to the deeper breath. Feeling more movement in the chest, more movement in the abdomen. Feeling the lungs expand against the mat beneath you. And feel your regular level of alertness slowly coming back with each deep breath. Remembering what you did before class, some parts of this class, but most importantly, where you're going now that this class and this practice specifically are coming to an end. And say to yourself mentally, this practice of Yoga Nidra is now complete. You may begin to release your posture, slowly moving your hands and your feet, moving your head from side to side, coming over to one side, coming up to a seated position. If your eyes are still closed, you can always palm, putting your hands over your eyes, opening your eyes into the warm darkness. And there you go. So with the show of hands, how many of you think you made it through Yoga Nidra without falling asleep? How many of you were in and out? Yeah, it's kind of hard doing 2 meditations back to back, so it's not exactly easy. All right. Well, I wish all of you a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing your practice plans from last week. If you want to stick around and ask a question, I am here. Okay. Otherwise, see ya. Have a great
Great rest of your week. See you next week, Thursday.